Let's be honest, the grocery store can feel like a total battleground for your attention, right? You've got thousands of products, all with these bright, flashy labels and big promises. But what if the story on the package isn't the whole story? Well, today, we're gonna cut through all that marketing noise and find out what you're really putting in your cart. So, I'll ask you straight up, do you really know what's in there? We're about to peel back the labels on some of those everyday staples. You know, things like coffee, canned goods, even bacon and hot dogs, to uncover the good, the bad, and the genuinely surprising. And look, this isn't some niche problem. We're talking about a massive number of people. Over 70% of us are using canned foods every single week. They're basically a cornerstone of the modern pantry. But as we're about to see, that convenience can sometimes come with some pretty serious hidden costs to our health. All right, so first up, we're gonna play detective. We're gonna uncover the red flags. You know, the common traps and hidden problems that even the most careful shoppers can totally miss. Let's start with the story a brand tells you versus the one it's desperately trying to hide. Okay, this first red flag is all about the power of marketing. You know what I'm talking about. You see a rustic-looking font, maybe a pretty picture of a farm or a big American flag, and you immediately feel this sense of trust. But that's where it gets deceptive, when that wholesome image doesn't even come close to matching what's happening behind the scenes.
Let's take Smithfield Bacon as a perfect example. You see it wrapped in an American flag, and you're thinking, a classic American company. But the reality? It's been owned by a Chinese meat giant, WH Group, since 2013. And that promise of premium quality, well, it's been challenged by huge environmental scandals like spilling millions of gallons of waste. Not to mention a wave of customer complaints about the quality going downhill. Some people have literally said it cooks up like wet paper. Yikes.
Okay, our next red flag is all about what happens when food isn't just cooked, it's engineered. Heavy processing can make food last way longer and cost a lot less, but the trade-offs are often buried deep, deep down in that ingredient list. Have you ever looked at a super cheap pack of hot dogs and wondered, how on earth do they make it for that price? Well, this is often the answer. Mechanically separated meat is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a paste that's been scraped from bones by a machine. It's a major cost-cutting move that results in what some people have called a smooth batter of skin and gristle. I mean, it's legal, but it's a completely different world from a real whole cut of meat. And processing isn't just about the texture, it's also about what they're adding in. Get this, a single serving of some really popular canned baked beans can pack 20 to 30% of your entire daily sodium limit. And that's not even mentioning the dessert-level amounts of sugar they dump in there. Suddenly that savory side dish is looking a whole lot less innocent, isn't it? And then you've got the chemical preservatives. Bacon and hot dogs, they almost always have nitrates and nitrites in them to keep that pinkish color and stop them from spoiling. But here's the catch. When you cook them at high heat, those compounds can form something called nitrosamines. And this is so serious that the World Health Organization actually classifies processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen. That's the same category as tobacco, linking it directly to an increased risk of colorectal cancer. Our third red flag is, without a doubt, the most serious one. This is what happens when quality control just completely breaks down, and the food sitting on the shelf becomes a real public health risk. To really understand the stakes here, just look at a case like the Boar's Head outbreak of 2024. The warning signs were all there for months. A USDA report listed 69 violations at a plant, including things like mold and insect infestations. Then, by May, a deadly listeria outbreak kicks off. It ends up spreading to 19 states, hospitalizing 61 people, and tragically killing 10. A catastrophic failure like this leads to massive recalls and can just shatter a brand's reputation overnight. Okay, I know, we've just gone through a lot of red flags, and it's a lot to take in. But now, let's totally pivot from the problems to the solutions. This is how you arm yourself with the knowledge to spot the genuinely high-quality products out there. Here it is. This is your essential checklist. So instead of fruits drowning in heavy syrup, look for ones packed in water or their own juice. Instead of nitrates and nitrites, look for uncured options or ones that use celery powder as a preservative. Ditch the mechanically separated meat and look for products that are clearly labeled 100% beef or grass-fed. And you should always favor brands that are super clear about their sourcing and have certifications over the ones with vague labels or, even worse, a history of recalls. And you know, choosing better doesn't mean you have to give up convenience.
Some canned foods are absolute nutritional heroes. Canned tomatoes, for example, actually have more usable lycopene, that's a powerful antioxidant, than fresh ones. Plain beans and chickpeas are fantastic sources of protein and fiber. Just give them a quick rinse to slash the sodium. And pure pumpkin, it's a vitamin A powerhouse for your immune system. Oh, and don't sleep on sardines. They're packed with omega-3s and protein and have super low mercury levels.
And the same exact principle applies to meats. You've got brands like Applegate that are all about humanely raised pork with no antibiotics. Right brand uses real traditional applewood smoking instead of weird chemical additives. Hebrew National guarantees 100% kosher beef, no fillers, no byproducts. And if you want to go for a really premium option, Benton's Aiken is on another level. It's dry cured and smoked for days, not hours. It just goes to show that real quality craftsmanship is still out there. So what about that cup of coffee that gets you going in the morning? Well, for a cleaner cup, you want to look for 3 key things. First, USDA organic. That just means no synthetic pesticides were used. Second, look for brands that are third-party tested for nasty stuff like mold, mycotoxins, which are these toxic compounds from fungi, and heavy metals. Brands like LifeBoost and Purity Coffee really make this a priority. And third, look for a fair trade certification. That's your guarantee that the farmers were paid a fair living wage. And finally, here's a little pro tip for building a truly resilient pantry. White rice, unlike brown rice, whose oils can go bad, can actually last for up to 30 years. It's crazy. And the method is super simple. You just seal it in Mylar bags, add what are called oxygen absorbers to get all the air out, and then store it in a cool, dark place. It is the ultimate low-cost, long-term survival food. So, after navigating all of those red flags and finding the gold standards, what's the big takeaway here? Well, it all really comes down to one simple but really powerful idea. Because at the end of the day, the most important ingredient in your food isn't even on the label. It's transparency. It's knowing where your food comes from, what's really in it, and what the values are of the company that made it. See, when brands are transparent, you have the power. And when they're not, you really have to ask yourself why. So there you have it. You have the checklist, you've seen some of the worst offenders and some of the best-in-class alternatives. The only question left is, on your next trip to the store, what choice will you make?
If you found this guide helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into food safety and survival strategies.